I'm very interested to know your thoughts on this. An AI video of a man who was killed in a road rage incident was used in court to address his killer. So back in 2021, Chris Pelkey was shot and killed by Gabriel Horcasitas. And it happened in Chandler, Arizona, after an argument had taken place while they were driving. But according to reports, the men had stopped at a red light when Pelkey then got out of his vehicle and walked toward Horcasitas, who was in a car behind him, and he responded by firing multiple rounds. And then, heading into the trial, Pelkey's sister, Stacey Wales, she began collecting impact statements and preparing her own when she had an idea.
We received 49 letters that the judge was able to read before walking into sentencing that day. But there was one missing piece. There was one voice that was not in those letters.
And so she turned to her husband and a friend of his who had been working with AI for a while. And together, they created an AI rendering of Chris that delivered his impact statement in a video shown in court, with Stacey further explaining.
I have my own thoughts and feelings about how much time I wanted the sentence to be. If I forgive the shooter or not. I have very definitive opinions about that. But it was important not to make Chris say what I was feeling and to detach and let him speak, because he said things that would never come out of my mouth, but I know would come out of his.
So notably here, she also told other local reporters that she was the one who wrote the script that AI Chris read before the court.
I said, I have to let him speak. And I wrote what he would have said. I said, all right, that's pretty good. I'd like to hear that if I was the judge.
In the video that was shown in court, which also included real footage of Chris, the AI rendering thanked everyone who was present at the trial and the judge overseeing the case before addressing Horcasitas directly.
To Gabriel Horcasitas, the man who shot me. It is a shame we encountered each other that day in those circumstances. In another life, we probably could have been friends. I believe in forgiveness and in God who forgives. I always have, and I still do.
And that AI rendering it seemed to be received very well by many in the courtroom, including Chris's other family members, who Stacey said she had surprised with the video to get their genuine reaction. With her brother John also telling reporters,
there was something about seeing Chris and the man that I knew and the belief that I thought in my head that Chris would have forgiven this guy. But to see his face and to hear his voice say it, just waves of healing washed over my soul, because that was the man that I knew.
And it wasn't just the family members. The judge overseeing the case also appeared to be moved by the AI.
I love that AI. Thank you for that. I feel that was genuine, that it was obvious forgiveness of Mr. Horcasitas reflects the character I heard about today.
In fact, the Pelkey's family told reporters that the judge was so moved that he ended up giving Horcasitas a longer sentence, with the judge sentencing him to 10.5 years, even though prosecutors had recommended 9.5. And in addition to this just being a standout situation, it's also historic, with one local report saying it was the first time in Arizona judicial history, and possibly nationwide, that AI has been used to create a deceased victim's own impact statement. But all of this, it comes as the growing use of AI in the court system is becoming a bigger topic. With the Singh, for example, back in March, a man in New York who was representing himself in an employment dispute hearing, trying to use a video of an AI-generated avatar to make his legal case in front of a panel of judges. So there, I will say, that did not go over too well.
I don't appreciate being misled. Shut that off. If you want to have oral argument time, you may stand up and give it to me.
So very different from what went down in Pelkey's case, but it also illustrates how the court system has responded to the AI boom with a broad patchwork of differing rules and mixed responses. Because on one hand, you have some courts embracing the use of AI for more administrative tasks or to deliver news of rulings or important opinions. And some state Supreme Courts have issued rules allowing judges and/or lawyers to use AI in their work under certain limited conditions. But then others, they've pushed for more restrictions. Like in Virginia, for example, where lawmakers recently proposed a bill that would regulate the use of AI in courtroom proceedings. And just last week, a federal judicial panel advanced a proposal that would also set rules for the introduction of AI-generated evidence at trial, with the draft rule there specifically being designed to make sure that evidence produced by generative AI can meet the same reliability standards as evidence from human expert witnesses. So this is a rapidly developing area, and you definitely shouldn't be surprised to see legislation and just news stories popping up everywhere. I mean, even just about 2 weeks ago, a story came out that AI helped write bar exam questions. It is going to invade every aspect of the legal system and really everything in life. We've been saying that for a while, but it looks like the frog's almost boiled. But in the meantime, the question I want to throw to you is, what do you specifically think about the AI video of Pelkey that was used? Hey, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this clip from the full Philip DeFranco show. And also, a big thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring our Clips channel. Turn your passion into profit over at squarespace.com/Phil, or use the QR code. Because whether you're launching a business or a lucrative side hustle, your website is your digital business card. It's the only space where you control the story, no algorithms or distractions. And with Squarespace, it's so easy because they got a ton of stunning professional templates with drag and drop editing that makes site design incredibly simple, no coding required. So get started for free at squarespace.com/Phil, or scan the QR code on screen and use code Phil for 10% off when ready to launch. Squarespace.com/Phil.